Have you ever seen that video where it shows local news people all saying like the exact same thing? It's really weird.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are concerned about trouble and irresponsible one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
the sharing of biased and false
News has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media
This is fucking scary.
Yeah.
This is the scariest.
Well, that's propaganda. I mean, this is they're trying to bend a narrative in a very specific way for everybody.
Let's start there. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to bend a narrative in a certain type of way for everybody, man. How y'all doing out there, man? I'm Jalen Stevens, aka Gilly the Truth, Gilly the Man, whatever the fuck you want to call me, man. I hope y'all having a blessed day, man, because I am, man. It just stopped letting up with the rain out here in East Texas, man. It's been pouring cats and dogs, man. We've been under tornado warnings, man. Tornadoes surrounding all around us, but we didn't get hit. So it's all blessings my way, man. Well, today, man, we're going to talk about a lot of shit, man. Well, as much as I can get out, you know what I'm saying, before I check out on y'all niggas, man. But let's go and get to, you know what I'm saying, our first subject of the day, man, because, man, they was out there protesting, nigga. They out there protesting against Trump, man. They're not feeling it, bro. This administration has been a problem for a lot of people, man. And they sick.
Good evening. I'm John Yang. Across the country and around the world today, tens of thousands of people turned out for what organizers say has been the biggest single day of protest against President Trump and his second-term policies and actions. In this country, more than 1,000 rallies were planned in small towns and major cities from coast to coast. Ali Rogan begins our coverage.
In Washington, crowds descended on the National Mall, calling for lawmakers to rein in President Trump.
He's right now destroying our economy. He's taken away all of our allies. We're a pariah in the world. And Congress sits back and does nothing.
The mass protest, dubbed the Hands Off National Day of Action, was organized by advocacy groups that oppose the president's policies during his first term. Protesters railed against Mr. Trump's recent moves to lay off scores of federal workers, revoke protections for immigrants, and implement sweeping tariffs. But for Democratic leaders, the president's threat to democracy took center stage.
Our founders wrote a constitution that does not begin with "we the dictators." The preamble says, "We the people."
The movement spread far beyond the nation's capital. From the sidewalks of South Bend to downtown Boston and New York City, demonstrators took to the streets in protests both big and small to oppose President Trump's agenda. That resistance echoed around the globe. In Germany, England, and Portugal, protesters flocked to public squares to show support and solidarity with Americans.
Freedom is at stake in the United States and for the whole world with what Donald Trump is doing. And we need to stand up.
For PBS News Weekend, I'm Ali Rogan.
These protests cap a tumultuous week. Overnight, President Trump's 10% global tariffs went into effect, and in anticipation, stocks lost trillions of dollars in market value in just 2 days. Beverly Gage is a professor of history and American studies at Yale University. Beverly, is there any precedent or even an analogous events to what we've seen in the past few days?
Well, we've certainly had tariffs before in American history. No, not on this scale and not for a while, but I cannot think of another moment when it seemed like the White House and the president had deliberately tanked the stock market and told everyone, hey, no worries, it's going to be okay.
You say there have been tariffs in history. What has history taught us about tariffs?
Tariffs were a big part of the way the federal government got its money in the late 19th and into the early 20th century. We didn't have an income tax, and this was a huge source of federal revenue. And we sort of did away with them because they were seen to create instabilities, to create these wild cycles of boom and bust that were so characteristic of that period. And then also to really be a source of political corruption and favoritism. And a century ago, Americans decided that really wasn't the way they wanted to run their country, but it looks like we're heading back to that now.
In recent years, we've seen presidents trying to...
That's because we got a bunch of stupid niggas voting, man. And niggas mad why I don't vote. Oh, why you ain't voting, Jalen? You fucking up what your ancestors fought and died for. Nah. Nah. I'm choosing not to pick the lesser of two evils, man. When there's evil on the ballot, I just say, you know what? I ain't got to vote, you know? I ain't got to vote, fam. Go ahead, man.
Globalize the economy, trying to make the United States part of a global economy. And now the president seems to be fencing off the American economy from the rest of the world. What do you make of that?
I think that's a really important distinction. If we go back to the 19th century and to the Gilded Age, which seems to be a period that Trump and his allies are thinking a lot about, looking back to, it was a very different story because you hadn't had a whole century of these ties across the continent, across the globe, and this kind of global business world that now is really being dismantled in many ways.
Taking a broader look at the administration and what's happened so far, we've seen President Trump trying to reshape the federal government through DOGE, trying to reshape relations with longtime allies and with trading partners and with the developing world. And we're not even at the 100-day mark. Can you think of a time or a president who's hit the ground running so hard and so fast?
I think you can look at something like Franklin Roosevelt's first 100 days, which is where really we get this idea of the first 100 days as a critical period. Lots of things happened, lots of things changed, and they were pretty fundamental. Changes in the political economy. Americans were able to start drinking again because he ended prohibition. But that moment, I think, is different from this one because people understood Roosevelt to be addressing really a cataclysmic crisis. At home, the Great Depression; abroad, the rise of fascism.
See, the thing is that now we're celebrating the rise of fascism here in America. You know what I'm saying? In so many ways, man. Fuck the immigrants, the black folks. Let's get them. Let's get rid of them. They're all the scapegoats. You know what I'm saying? White people can do no wrong. That's the America we live in. It's technically always been the America we lived in. But, you know, they've been able to disguise it well and say that, you know, it's our fault versus the next person. But, hey, it don't take a lot, man. All it takes is one person, man, to say how they feel about some shit. And here we are, man. I was reading an article where Mitch McConnell is pretty much criticizing Trump, man. And crazy thing about it is, man, like, he wasn't vocal when all that shit was happening. When he was swearing in all these people, where was Mitch? You know what I'm saying? He had something to say here and there, but it's like, don't come out trying to talk shit about Trump now. That's the problem with a lot of you motherfuckers, man. Y'all want to come out and say some shit now. Oh, man, look at me as a farmer. Look at me as this guy and that guy. And you should have said that shit before election. You should have said that shit with your vote. If that's how much you cared about it to vote, go. You should have voted for who you thought was right. You thought Trump was right. You're getting exactly what he told you he's going to do. Why complain now? This is the GOP, man.
Right now with this freeze, vulnerable populations could be directly impacted. And so my question to you, just to follow up with you, would you support getting rid of, you know, school lunch for vulnerable kids and breakfast and Head Start, for example, and getting rid of childhood cancer research? Do you support that? And what do you say to your constituents? I want to follow up on that question too, because I didn't hear an answer from you.
When you talk about school lunches, hey, I worked my way through high school. I don't know about you, but I worked since I was, before I was even 13 years old. I was picking berries in the field before we had child labor laws that precluded that. I was a paper boy. And when I was in high school, I worked my entire way through. You're telling me that kids who stay at home, instead of going to work at Burger King, McDonald's during the summer, should stay at home and get their free lunch instead of going to work? I think we need to have a top-down review.
I think you're painting a
think
lot
about
of these
where
kids
kids
with a
need to
broad
actually
brush.
be.
I would say that's not necessarily a fair
Exactly,
assessment of all of the kids. So you would say all the kids in your district who use the free lunch, for example, or breakfast, they're all just sitting at home and not working. Okay, I just want to clarify because that seems like what you were trying to insinuate.
This gives us a chance. This gives us a chance, though, to see where is the money really being spent. Who can actually go and actually produce their own income? Who can actually go out there and do something that makes them have value and work skills for the future? I mean, how many people got their start in fast food restaurants when they were kids versus just giving a blanket rule that gives all kids lunches in high school who are capable of going out and actually getting a job and doing something that makes them have value, thinking about their future instead of thinking about how they're going to sponge off the government when they don't need to.
But a lot of these kids aren't even of like working age. They're young kids, and as you well know, and also some of the kids at Head Start, they're like 5 and under.
Man, let's talk about how these motherfuckers want to get rid of the Department of Education, man. How they tired of putting money into education. Crazy shit, bro. Crazy shit to even think about. Man, this shit is wild. And then you got New York public schools saying, hey, man, we not going with what you saying, man. We're going to continue to be diverse and move diversely. You know what I'm saying? They ain't liking that shit, bro. They don't want to like this shit, man. Like, first off, why is it even a thing that we want to cut the Department of Education when we know where there's plenty of cuts in the government? You know what I'm saying? Where plenty of cuts could be made as far as how much overspending the Pentagon is doing. Why ain't none of these things being addressed? Are we addressing those things? You address it DEI in the Pentagon, but gold toilets, failing audits over and over and over again. Why not direct that shit to something practical? It's not about practicality. It's about dumbing down a whole generation, man. All this shit is about. And the Supreme Court look like they're gonna decide. They're gonna side with the administration when it comes to cutting these grants, man. So anything DEI related in grants, man. You know what I'm saying? We want to help. You know what I'm saying? Include more people into being able to apply for these grants and shit. Oh, okay. That's wrong. That's a bad thing now. I get it though, man. But let's go ahead and continue more with this video, man.
And now it seems like the crisis is sort of coming from the White House more than anything else.
Can the president keep up this pace of activity? And also, can the body politic keep up with this pace?
It has been, I think, really overwhelming for lots of people, myself included. And as you say, it's still pretty early on. So we might think that some of this will slow down as the courts come in, maybe as Congress begins to try to play a bigger role in all of this. But, you know, I think the Trump administration has been very smart at kind of creating narratives, controlling the news cycle, rolling things out piece by piece. They didn't just come out and say, we're going to cut 10% or 50% of all government agencies, or all universities are going to have to do that. They're making it very personal, and they're doing it bit by bit. And it's possible that that could go on for quite a long time.
Is this an inflection point in terms of the United States' role in the global world order and the relationship to the global world order, or is that taking it too far?
I do think that it's an inflection point, not because we know all of the consequences yet, not because it's a done deal or nothing's going to happen. We're seeing waves of protest, lots of pushback start.
Pausing this so to see if y'all can hear them damn cows in the background, man. Yeah. Them niggas back there wilding out, dog. Welcome to good old Texas life, baby. You know what I'm saying? It's been storming too. They probably stressed. Or probably getting some good water, man. Good fresh grass that's moist and shit. I don't know. Maybe that's better for them. I don't know, though. But just thought that was interesting. My fault. Let's get back to the video.
Starting. So we're still very early on, but I think what's happened in a pretty fundamental way is that a lot of certainties have been upended. Certainty that if you are a scientist, you're going to be able to think about a lifetime career in the United States and think about sources of funding. Same thing for federal workers, and I think that you can take that into the global scale as well. Diplomatic relations, business expectations, all of these have been pretty profoundly disrupted, and we might go back. We might change policies, but the fact that people can't be really secure anymore about what the fundamental assumptions and structures are through which to plan for the long term, I think that's not something that we're going to go back from so easily.
Beverly Gage of Yale University, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And on the heels of those tariffs, plus government job cuts we've been seeing, anti-Trump protests are taking place all across the country. Organizers are calling it hands off, and they say it's a stand against the administration's handling of the economy and human rights. More than 1,200 protests were scheduled nationwide, including on the National Mall in Washington. And that is where we find Christian Cordero standing by with more. Christian, you talked a lot about these protesters today. What message are they trying to send?
Oh, there's a lot, Phil. And, you know, in fact, there were more than 100,000 people here on the National Mall today, according to organizers. Where we're standing right now, because this did wrap up about half an hour or so ago, this was, we would not have been able to stand here if the protest and rally was still going on in that stage behind me. But as you mentioned, the theme is hands off. And those are the two words that really resonated with people here. And one thing that's unique about this rally, as opposed to others that I've been to anyways, is that you kind of do have a springboard of different kinds of issues that people have latched onto from there. It's not just one thing that they're saying, but there also is that one thing, right, of this idea that, you know, they believe that there's this government overreach happening right now. But we saw signs about hands off our bodies, hands off our schools, hands off our social security, and just capturing a little bit of the nuance and the texture of the people who were out here. You know, they feel like they that their lives are affected, and then here in DC specifically, that their jobs and their communities are affected. It's not just the cuts to the federal workforce, Phil. There's a lot of contractors as well.
It's just the most unsuccessful administration that we've seen. Well, I'll say I've lived here. I've been alive 30 years. Probably been aware of politics maybe about 12 of that. Well, I say maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little bit more than that. But you know, because I definitely was aware of politics even in high school. So, but still, like, never have we seen such drastic measures to reverse all progress that had happened in the last 20 years. A lot of the progress you can say reached back all the way to the 60s, but hey, you know what I'm saying? I don't get it. Well, is this what people wanted, man? It seemed like that's what people wanted this whole time. It seemed like, you know what I'm saying, they wanted somebody to scapegoat and call the problem. And that tend to be, you know what I'm saying, the minorities, you know what I'm saying, whether it be black, or any other, you know what I'm saying, demographic that wants to put themselves in that category. But shit, you can definitely say Black and Hispanic probably, you know what I'm saying. Some people feel like Asians or outperforming and different stuff like that, but most of their wealth is going back to their country. So it's not like a lot of Chinese wealth is just being built up here in America. It's still a small percentage. And people are saying that, okay, you want to cut all the stuff that can help, you know what I'm saying, the more poor people. Meanwhile, you're talking about giving more tax cuts to the rich. In so many words, like, that's just all they want to do. Cut DEI, cut all the other things that can help anybody of any other marginalized group. And shit, now we're going to, you know what I'm saying, give tax cuts to these majority of motherfuckers that are, you know, majority of them are white. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm going to give you a bigger tax cut, a bigger tax break. Yeah, you might maybe possibly, you know what I'm saying, lower some taxes in some kind of way, you know what I'm saying, for the poorest people. But with tariffs, is it really going to fucking matter? Great, hey, y'all great economists, y'all great businessmen, man. I don't get it, man.
That partner with the federal government, and that's been affected too. So it's something happening on a very local level. And then, of course, as we've seen this happen across the country today, you see it's deeply resonating.
What kind of things were you hearing from protesters about the economy specifically after the tariff announcements?
Yeah, so the tariffs are really impacting people on different levels, and so it depends on who you ask, right? So there was this family that I just spoke with, and they're worried about the costs going up because if inflation continues to rise after it cooling for quite a bit, then they're worried about the potential for them not to be able to pay childcare, things like that. You know, one of them told me that they actually stopped contributing to their 401k because they feel like their budget has already been strained. And then you have people in this demographic, right, the age demographic that economists have said that this affects maybe most immediately because they don't have the time to wait, that the Trump administration has said, just be patient, right? This is going to be good for our economy in the long run. If you're trying to retire right now, then perhaps you don't have that luxury. And that was the message that we heard from a lot of the people who are in and around retirement age and trying to make that happen. There was one couple that really stood out to us. The husband had just retired. He's really worried about his Social Security going away. And the wife is trying to retire. But the tariffs announcement is adding a little bit of a wrinkle to that. Take a listen.
I don't sleep well. I'm scared. I'm scared that the money that we've saved all of our lives for retirement is not going to be there.
Yeah, so it really just depends who you ask, Phil. But there is one thing that, you know, everyone here can was motivated by, and that was the message to send not just to the Trump administration, but also to Democrats on Capitol Hill. And so there is this sense that something needs to be done, and we'll see where it goes from here.
All right, Christian Cordero on the National Mall. Thanks so much.
Hello, how's everybody doing? This is about the fight for everything and everyone. When I say everything, say everyone. Everything. 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 It is so damn good to see this crowd.
I'm gonna let you finish, man. I'm gonna let you finish, bro. But I honestly feel like all the protesting, it ain't gonna get you nowhere, man. The action is in owning something, man. It's saying, I guess, even maybe voting, you know what I'm saying, in some degree, you know what I'm saying. I guess you can say you have a say so in the matter. But it's definitely going out there and getting your shit taken in. You know what I'm saying? The moment that you rely on Uncle Sam, man, he's gonna let you down, dog. He's gonna let you down.
Yo, we all know that we're living in some dark times. We see the foundations of our society, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, the very safety nets that people have fought for generations to ensure that our country lives up to its promise, are being targeted by the billionaires and the oligarchs and the corporations. This insidious rise of authoritarianism is fueled by corrupt billionaires and mega corporations who believe that they have the right to control every aspect of our lives. Our healthcare, to our schools, to our thoughts, to our very speech. Under the false banner of patriotism and freedom and a false banner of patriotism. They would have us believe that if we gave them all the control, everything would be great. But breaking news, they've had the control, and look at where we're at right now. Massive wealth inequality in this country, where most of our people live paycheck to paycheck. And it isn't a new problem for generations. The billionaires and oligarchs have kept all this wealth and left us with the crumbs. But we say no more. In this moment, we all have a choice to make. As elected officials, we can't live in the world of what we can't do, but we have to live in the world of what we can and must do. I'll tell you, I had some friends come up to me and say, Maxwell, you should think about running for Congress. 4 years ago, I said, hell no, you're crazy. The crazy thing is I didn't have all the power at the time. I didn't have all the money. I experienced homelessness during my campaign. And as many of you know, even after I was elected, I couldn't find a place to live in DC because the housing costs were too high. But the crazier thing is we won. We didn't have all the power. When we woke up and saw, it was Twitter at this time, when we woke up and saw on Twitter that a black man, George Floyd, had been lynched in broad daylight. We didn't have all the power, but we still took to the streets to say that Black Lives Matter. They didn't have all the power. When a gunman walked into Marjorie Stoneman Douglas in Parkland, Florida, and murdered 17 students, children, and teachers. But the students rose up, demanded that we end gun violence, and the world didn't just watch, the world marched to end gun violence.
To end gun violence, buddy? I feel you, man. I feel you. Good little speech, man. But at the end of the day, man, ain't no marching gonna end up gun violence, man. Shit, that shit that's gonna take some internal searching from the people who are faced with, you know, the streets, man. They're faced with like, this is where I'm at. This is where I gotta, you know what I'm saying, make my bread, lay my head, all that different shit like that. And as far as the Parkland, you know what I'm saying, shooter, I don't know if it's bullying or what it is that make, you know what I'm saying, some of these kids go and shoot up these schools, man. But the way we treat each other in general, bro, out here is pretty fucked up, pretty shitty, man. So I don't tend to see the violence going down in it, man. Honestly, I don't see the violence going down in it, man. Violence probably gonna go up, man. Man, shit. Some of these motherfuckers need to get hit in their mouth, man, at the end of the day. So, yeah, I can say protect yours, man, by any means necessary.
I say this because a lot of times when you don't have all the power that you want, you use all the power that you got. And that's what we have to do in this moment. We need to use everything in our toolbox. We can't afford to brush aside any part of our movement. We need mutual aid. We need protests. We need direct action. We need a legislative strategy. We need to be in the courts litigating because I promise you, our opposition are not leaving any tools in their toolbox. They're using everything they have. And it's insane because there is such international solidarity in the right-wing fascist movement. January 6th here, January 8th in Brazil, funded by a lot of the same people and organized by a lot of the same people. But here's the thing, their movement is run by fear, trying to push us against one another. They would have our people believe that the reasons we can't afford rent, the reason we can't afford healthcare, the reason we can't afford groceries is because of other people in our own communities. Yes, we know that this system is rigged and the status quo doesn't work for Americans, but it's not rigged against the billionaires. It's rigged for the billionaires and for the corporations.
He ain't lying there. He is not lying there. But I'm going to read a little bit from this article real quick before I let him continue, man. Because the students out there was protesting on Friday or yesterday, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? From D.C. We went out to the Capitol building, man. Or the Department of Education, to be exact. And they set hands off their schools, man. Crowds of college and high school students representing student governments from some of the largest schools in the Washington, D.C. area rallied outside the Department of Education on Friday to oppose the administration's gutting of the agency, chanting, "Hands off our schools and give us back our DOE." Demonstrators attended the rally outside the department headquarters as education advocates and student organizers discussed the department's importance to U.S. students. Julia Camino, a student body vice president at American University, said shutting the agency would harm the rights of Americans most vulnerable. Quote, the Department of Education is the government agency that ensures that our universities have equal access, that people of all genders, identities, of all racial, ethnic, and protected classes, Camino told ABC News. And we know that when you go after the Department of Education, you're actually going after marginalized communities. So on those this is just an ongoing history of attacks on those marginalized and vulnerable groups. Very smart lady, hey. Very smart lady, man. But this is what they want to end. They want to end the kids even thinking like this. Because they know, all right, look, our government tends to attack a certain group of people all the time. If we pay attention, they divide us up and they go after these groups, each individually in their own way. With Mexicans, immigration, it's some of the same criminal justice laws and shit like that. They get over policed as well. They don't want to talk about these things. When I was on a panel, hell, I guess I got banned from it, man. They was, I don't think that they get over police. I think that was Flo ass, man. Flo, you motherfucker sometimes, man. But yeah. At the end of the day, man, you gotta look at how the communities. I mean, like, bro, they're not just sitting riding around the black community, of course, but they posted up at certain points because they know, all right, nigga got to go to the store here. Nigga got to go over here. You know what I'm saying? So they'll post up and, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Get you on a little road where you by yourself. That's how they do. You know, that's how they do the community, man. Like, shit, they hide. They do things in secret. They connive and cunning. You know what I'm saying? Trying to figure out a way to catch you slipping. And they don't necessarily have to be a criminal. It could just be a regular civilian. You speeding, trying to get somewhere. Maybe you're late getting home or late getting to work. You're trying to get there. You know what I'm saying? You know them bad-ass kids don't tow up your house. You know, so many things that could be going on. Ain't no telling, man. But, okay. Last month, the President Donald Trump signed an executive order directing the Education Secretary Linda McMahon to take all necessary steps to strengthen the department and return education control to the states. The department has already let go nearly half of its working staff. Who's gonna make sure that, you know what I'm saying, education and access is being, you know what I'm saying, levied out equally amongst certain groups? You're gonna have, you know, you can say it, black schools or lower impoverished schools getting a lot less funding now because, you know, they don't have property taxes to make up certain things and shit like that. And then they're gonna figure out ways to shovel more grants into, you know what I'm saying, some of these other schools, just so these other schools become no longer a option, man. But let me go ahead, man.
They are the ones hoarding so much wealth, we can't even imagine what it is. They're the ones cutting essential programs that help working families while giving themselves massive tax breaks that benefits nobody but themselves. They tell us that immigrants are stealing our jobs, but they're the ones shipping jobs overseas and hiring corporate lawyers to go and union bust. They're the ones that are screwing us over on the jobs. They tell us that trans people are a threat to our children, but they're the ones dismantling public education. They're the ones denying the climate crisis. They're the ones poisoning our planet. They're the ones doing nothing about the national public health emergency of gun violence. And they want us to believe that they're the patriots of free speech. But they're the ones kidnapping and disappearing college students across this country that are just fighting for peace to ensure that innocent people don't die. The message is simple, and I've been traveling the country. I went to Michigan with my good friend Senator Chris Murphy to a Republican district, and the message is simple. We're in this situation not because of our neighbors. I promise you, your bank account looks a lot more like your trans neighbors or your immigrant neighbors and nothing like Elon Musk's. In fact, we're all closer to being on the streets than having a bank account that looks like his. How do you think he got to where he's at? I have people who come up to him and say, Maxwell, why would they be stealing? Elon Musk is already the richest person in the world. He has enough money. The question is, how do you think he became the richest person in the world? And, you know, Elon doesn't like me. If you told me 5 years ago that the richest man on earth would be tweeting about me, I mean, it goes to show Elon's a great example that money can't buy you happiness, and money can't buy you a Wisconsin Supreme Court seat either. But I'll tell you, our way out of this is not to back down, is not to be silent, is not to be divided. Throughout human history, authoritarians, they're never satisfied with the power that they have. And so they test the bounds, they push the limits, they break the law, and then they look at the public to see if they're quiet or if they're loud. If we are quiet, if elected officials are quiet, then we are complicit. And we cannot be complicit in the tearing apart of Medicaid, of Social Security, of food stamps, of nutritional assistance, of the things that we fought for and earned. This.
Yes, sir. I mean, he's speaking some real, man. I don't know. Hey, a lot of people say it's just a politician, politicking, but hey, at the end of the day, man, these motherfuckers been getting rich off our backs for the longest, man. And it's not just black people. This is the poor ass white people out there, the poor Mexican man, the poor China man, bro. We've all been getting our ass kicked out here. You know what I'm saying, by our government, bro. Why are we, you know what I'm saying, applying the motherfucker, knocking out the safety nets that we need in order to keep on doing some of the things that we have been able to do in society, strives to try to get out of poverty. Get out of, you know what I'm saying, being stuck in a cycle of, you know what I'm saying, never-ending debt and shit like that. And some of us still having to take on those debts, even when we, you know what I'm saying, trying to make it out of this shit. Think about it, man. Don't let the motherfuckers fool you, bro. With, oh, we trying to get it back to the states, man. Okay. You think the state's gonna do shit? Gonna be trying to set up funds for y'all, mother? Shit, no, they're not. And so back to the article, man. I think what we really trying to get across is that the Trump administration has just exceeding its authority, said Usher Maxwell, a student press coordinator for the Georgetown University Student Association. That's really going to harm our education and our futures. The demonstration was organized by students' governments representing over 130,000 students at several colleges in the region, including Georgetown University, American University, Howard University, as well as Temple in Philadelphia, according to organizers. The coalition is a historic alliance standing against the assault on education, including campus free speech and student financial aid programs, according to the release by organizers. Critics say college students will especially be affected if the president follows through with transferring the responsibilities of the the Office of Federal Student Aid and its 1.6 trillion student loan portfolio to another agency, and terminating the federal workers who administer funds for higher education. Ethan Hershaw, a Pell Grant recipient and Georgetown student body president, called the agency a lifeline for students to attain an equitable and quality education. This is threatening the livelihoods, the education access, and the economic mobility of low and middle income Americans from every background all across the country, which is true. We gotta think about this. It's not just going to affect one group of people. It's going to affect us all. You see, in most of these protests we done showed so far, mostly white folks out there protesting, man, because they're recipients of a lot of this funding and a lot of these what people want to act like it's handouts. Cause shit, man, without that, you love spending $30,000-$40,000 a year for fucking school, man. Come on, man. Let's be real. The boy's got a little cracky right there. I don't know what that was. But Hershaw said, I know without access to programs that come from this building, education may not have been possible for me. So it's incredibly important to come out here and demand that this institution stay strong and that the Trump administration does not take away what's so important to us. An impromptu appearance at a news conference held by Democrats outside the department's headquarters earlier this week, McMahon defended the administration's move, saying that she believes the best education is closest to the child, where the teachers and parents and local superintendents working together in local school boards and to develop the curriculum for the students is the best way that it can happen. Which is definitely true, but not all schools are built the same, Mr. Leonard, man. That's the whole fucking point. Every school board doesn't have the funding that some of these good ass schools in the suburbs have and shit like that, man. Some of these good private schools and shit like that have. Let's be honest. Gotta be honest here. The rally Friday followed about a month worth of Friday demonstrations at the department, including ED Matters rally, study-ins, and clap-outs for terminating the federal workers. More recently, Democratic lawmakers on Capitol Hill have condemned the changes at the department. Senator Elizabeth Warren, Democrat from Massachusetts, launched a Save Our Schools campaign this week against the administration's attempt to dismantle the department. Her campaign includes investigations, oversight, community engagement, and lawsuits, according to the Center. The federal government has invested in our public schools, Warren said in an exclusive interview with ABC News. Taking that away from our children so that a handful of billionaires can get even richer is just plain ugly, and I will fight it with everything I got. Completely abolishing the department can't be done without congressional approval. Still, the students at Friday's demonstration said that the threats are close. The threats to close the department have already had a chilling effect on their campuses, according to Georgetown Student Association Vice President Darius Wagner. We're seeing them directly influence that what we are able to discuss in our spaces, teaching our classrooms, and also through K through 12 schools, because they're threatening to cut their funding if they do not comply with the views of the president, Wagner told ABC News. That's what's happening here. It's not hard to see that is the road to breaking our institutions and limiting our ability to speak freely, he said. This is only the beginning, Wagner said. This is why we're here at the DOE. Now, Wagner and a lot of those students will feel very passionately about what's going on with the Department of Education. But it's not just the Department of Education. This is the military. This is the financial system, man. We're affecting all different ways of moving in our country, and then we're not going to hold our voters, or you can even say the non-voters, accountable. I'm one of them, yeah. We're not talking about how, hey, look at what we have done to our country by voting in this idiot ass man. I'm just saying, bro. But I'm gonna let this finish, and then we're gonna get on top.
This is why Democrats in the House and across the country, we can't be and we are not the minority party. We must be the opposition in this moment. And then in less than 2 years, we will become the majority. And I'll tell you this, Elon Musk was on the news the other day saying, well, if the Democrats win, it's just going to be subpoenas and investigations. It's the one thing he's right about. You're damn right there's going to be subpoenas. You're damn right there's going to be investigations. Because when you steal from the people, expect the people to rise up at the ballot box and on the streets. Look, I'll end with this. I'm not going to be the one to sit here and say everything is going to be okay. Because to be honest, there's going to be a lot of people, and there's already a lot of people who are not okay, who are suffering from this authoritarian right-wing regime that is trying to have a billionaire takeover of our government. But the good thing is we are not alone. Not just in this moment and in this crowd, but I mean, we're not alone in the grand mosaic of humanity and timeline of justice. We stand alongside the water protectors, the freedom fighters, the anti-war warriors, the labor organizers, and movements of working people throughout human history that have seen the world through the eyes of the most vulnerable and said, we are all together. We are not divided and we are not apart.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Commendable thing that they trying to do, man, protesting and all that stuff, man. But at the end of the day, it's not helping nothing, man. Really out there wasting your time.
And on the heels of those tariffs, plus government job.
Get up out of all this, man. Because the weather's been crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? Been weather Just crazy weather all out where I'm at, man. Got a badass Reese Waters there, man. But anyway, man, it's been crazy out this way, man. It's been a lot of flash flooding, you know what I'm saying? I think with Arkansas had some tornadoes, some small tornadoes hit out, you know what I'm saying, here in East Texas and shit. Most of it was just rainy ass weather and shit like that, man. So that's what's up, man. It's just really wild, man. Yeah, man. It's just wild, bro. A lot going on, man. I hope everybody out there blessed, man, for real, dog. Because a lot of shit out here, man, that can stress you out, man. But you got to look for the good things, man. It's hard to find it out here sometimes, man, because bad news sells, man. Don't nobody want to give you any news about all the kids that's out here trying to do the right thing. We really talk about the kids that's doing the wrong thing. We really talk about the people that do the wrong thing. Because, you know what I'm saying, if I can have you fearing for your life, I can have you stealing your freedom to me, man. And then when you sell your freedom, man, there ain't much of a life after that, man. And that's where we at, bro, right now. A lot of people have convinced themselves that there are forces beyond their control, allowing people to just do whatever they want to. That nobody's out here doing anything to stop it. And until, you know, we get, you know what I'm saying, more policing or more any of this shit, man. Or we just really, let's get real. Let's be real. Until we get rid of niggas, it's not going to change. And I'm telling you, man, like, niggas is getting rid of themselves, man. I'm telling you, bro. The self-snitching award, man.
I got more murders than you got squabbles in the hood, homies. Yeah, those than you got squabbles in the set. On the hood. Hey, I got. Can you give us like at least 2 names from your put on and what block? I ain't never seen you at no meeting at Hyde Park, Horace Mann, or at 54th. When did you get put on? When did you get put on? I got put on in 2002. I got put out on 2002 Eileen Street at June House. What's up? Yeah, dead homie. So when you get put on? No, you haven't, bro. You've been in. Man, cuz Billy was a part of my put on. Dave was a part of my put on. Oh, the dead homies. My first name was Baby Wild. He's an Izzy turned East Coast. That was the third squabble. Who did you squabble, gang? Everybody. Who? You didn't squabble everybody. You would have went home stuff. Such your you didn't go. Hey, next time you come up here with 30, none of them was from 60s. You ain't long hood.
This is what we doing to ourselves, bro. Like, people really don't know what's going on in the black culture, man. They think they know, man. They don't pay attention enough, man, to what's really happening out here, man. Niggas getting locked up left and right out here because they don't know how to keep a tight lip on shit, man. How to not talk about shit, how to not put shit that on social media and shit like that, man. Man, we finna get all the criminals finna be off the streets. Let's be real. Yeah, my son showing me some shit. Some good old son, father-son bonding, man.
Crazy.
And it looked like little nigga was finna steal his ass again, man. Nigga bad. You should have put that belt on his ass, man. Y'all niggas over here filming shit, but hey, that's that father-son bonding right there, man. Real chin out. You know what I'm talking about? Man. But I don't want to get into this shit with Big U, man. We're gonna go ahead and go over to what I wanted to talk about, man, today, dog. Everybody's been talking about it, man. I made a video about it earlier. This Frisco stabbing, man. People are angry at me on TikTok, man. They pissed off. I'm reading the comments for the my TikTok viewers that might be fucking with me on the YouTube, man. I'm reading the comments, but I ain't responding, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I guess I'm gonna do a little responding by even acknowledging it here, but I'm not really tripping on it, man. However you feel, whether you feel like it's self-defense or not, that's cool. I don't, man. But I'm gonna play my thoughts on the Frisco shooting, and then I'm gonna elaborate a little bit further, man. Talk about some of the stuff that I've seen since I done talked about it. Saying a lot of people talking about this right here, man. For y'all who don't or not aware, Carmelo Anthony here stabbed Arthur McCaff in the chest. And Carmelo Anthony is a crazy name to be stabbing white boys in the chest, man. I'm just saying, doc. We already got us a good Carmelo Anthony out there. I guess they had to go find his doppelganger, even though it's not. He don't look like him at all. But I'm just saying to go and stab a motherfucker in the chest, man. That's crazy, dog. This is wild shit, bro. I don't understand it, dog. You know, after a heated discussion over Carmelo Anthony sitting in the quote unquote wrong section of you know what I'm saying, at a track meet. I guess sitting on and that already sound racist right there, but I wasn't even gonna try to take it racial. Wasn't even trying to take it racial, man. I'm just saying, dog. Wasn't gonna take it racial because you know what I'm saying. Even the father said, "Let's not go racial." So I don't want to go racial, but I'm just saying. When I heard out my section type shit, yeah, what the fuck is you on, my nigga? Under the tent that he shouldn't have been sitting them under their school tent. Now we all know that's some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You know, can't no kid. Yeah, some bullshit, of course. But mind you, this is Frisco. Frisco got like 3 schools, man. So a lot of people talking about, oh, they didn't go to the same school. How could he be bullying them? Bro, they live in the same fucking town. Frisco's not that damn big. It's easy that he could have been getting bullied outside of school, bro. Come on. I'm not saying that it was. You're going to listen to me when I finish. I'm going to let the rest of this play after I get this off. I say it myself that that's not an excuse to stab a nigga, but at the end of the day, come on, man. Come on, man. Let's be honest, man, with ourselves, nigga. Let's be totally honest with ourselves, man. Motherfucker just, you know what I'm saying, trying to paint the narrative that it couldn't have been bullying. There ain't no way it could have been bullying. It's a little bit far-fetched. Like I say, I don't know the dynamics of what's going to happen here yet. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about everything that I've seen been put out there, the different narratives. But as of right now, let's just stop with all the bullshit. Like, it couldn't have been bullying. That still doesn't make it right. Let's go. He'd be telling us who can sit here unless he was just completely unwelcome by everybody there, which he probably wasn't. But at the same time, Carmelo Anthony here is wrong, bro. Number one, why you got a knife at a track meet, man? Like, why you got a knife at a track meet, man? We can sit here and talk about everything else. Everybody, they're portraying him wrong, and he was finna get jumped. And hey, if he was finna get jumped and all that, bro, we do not want our kids out here killing other people, bro. regardless, man. I think everybody can agree to that, man. I don't want my kids jumping on nobody either, but I definitely don't want my kids killing anybody. You know what I'm saying? Unless he just necessarily he have to. And getting jumped on at a track meet is not I have to kill a nigga situation. I don't give a damn what y'all trying to make it out to be, man. It's just not it, bro. That's not worth it. It's not worth throwing your life away, man. Conflict resolution, man. I don't know if it was bullying in this situation. I know that's been somewhat been thrown out there a lot on social media that Austin McCaffrey and his twin were bullies. I don't disagree with it. It's like it could definitely be some bullying maybe being put into play because, like I say, to approach somebody over where they sitting at and then to try to grab them and remove them forcefully, yeah, dickhead behavior, man, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Not worth a man dying. Not worth a man dying at the end of the day. Honestly. I hate it for both families, man, in this situation, man. I know people going to be quick to just say, you know, Carmelo Anthony, he's a piece of shit. He should rot in jail. I really want to just get inside the man's head and understand why he felt like he needed to have a knife at the track meet. Because it's like, what are you doing with that? Like, have you talked to your parent? Like, was you getting bullied like that for real? Like, they don't make it right, but I just want to get into the psychology of why would you do this, man? Because threw your life away, man. You threw your life away at this point, man, right here. They not finna play about this shit, bro. Ain't no defense argument for somebody grabbing from what the article says, grabbing your book bag and trying to pull you and you stab them. That's no defense for that. I ain't gonna have no defense that's gonna win no cases in that shit, man. I don't care if you talk about how he was getting jumped on and this, that, and the third, which, you know what I'm saying? It could very well be the case, man. But, like, let's be honest, man. It should have been, like, more adult supervision or something around this situation, man. Like, where are the damn coaches and administrators or supervisors or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whoever, you know what I'm saying, over these damn, you know what I'm saying, track events and shit. Like, where was they at? Were they all on the field? Ain't nobody out there with the kids like this. I mean, shit. I know in our track meets, man, we had some of that, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't really that deep either. I had a fight at track meet, you know what I'm saying, with my own teammate. Man. Shit, shout out to that nigga, man. But, cause, you know, yeah, we good and shit. That was my boy, man. We just had to get that shit out, man. Had to get that shit off real quick. So I definitely understand the need to maybe even fight it out sometimes, but, man, a knife, bro. In my time, I always looked at it like niggas walking around carrying knives is usually, you know, I'm a coward at nigga. You know, and I ain't talking about if you keeping a knife for some type of you know, utility. You might need to cut the box cutter or something, like, you know, stuff like that. I get it. You working. But just walking around like you finna stab somebody and stuff, man, that was only the coward ass niggas that didn't want to fight, man. You know what I'm saying? They already knew they were gonna lose, so shit, let me pull out a knife and that might be the case. Maybe Austin couldn't fight, man. Maybe Austin wasn't a fighter, man. Maybe he was getting bullied and stuff like that. Still don't make it right, dog. Still don't make it right, man. And why ain't nobody else knowing about none of this stuff that's going on? Like, we need to get, you know what I'm saying, more into why, like, was this nigga reaching out for help and wasn't nobody listening? Like, those are the questions, man. Not should he be getting off, or, you know what I'm saying, was these adults versus a minor? I think they done try to say that the twins were 18 or whatever, man. Bullshit. 18 to 17 ain't no difference in that, man. The boy stabbed that boy up. That shit ain't right, man. And that's the main thing. Like, we ain't got to diminish the victims and murders and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, especially not no kids, bro. Like, I get it if, you know what I'm saying, he's just a complete scumbag or whatever, but this is a kid, man. Even if he was a bully, maybe even they say he was racist. He was a racist ass bully or some shit. that don't mean he ain't gonna get a chance to live and maybe change, man. Like, he don't get the chance to, you know, reach his full potential. Same with Carmelo Anthony, man. So you stabbing this man down, it's gonna be hard for you to reach your full potential. You get to still be here to try, but damn, now you might be having to face, you know what I'm saying, life in prison, man, for all we know. You know what I'm saying? If not, you know what I'm saying, a long stint of time in prison, man, most likely, dog. Like, it's a sad situation, though, man, at the end of the day, man. Prayers for both of the families, man. And shit, let's just be real about this shit. Yeah, man. So, shit, bro. At the end of the day, man, it's a sad situation, man. I hate it for the band, bro. But for us to act like this shit justified, man, we smoking that shit that Young LA was when he did this shit right here.
Pack extra sloppy. Don't I love my vegetable, extra cheese and broccoli. Don't Young lay like the kick like karate. Don't I be with J Money serving everybody. Me. Up the Magic City, throwing up the profit. Ain't me until taking off like a.
Now, this is circulating, man, pretty much saying, you know, homie was an A student, you know what I'm saying, that it was over a girl, that the dudes had never, that all that stuff about them never seeing him, homeboy before was all lies, that they had, you know what I'm saying, already been familiar with each other, and that they were checking them pretty much over the girl situation, man. And, but it's also this little thing being said that he was saying, like, don't touch me, and it was a touch, and then somebody said it was a push. So it's like, man, it's a lot of conflicting stories in this situation right here, man. So it's hard to judge it or gauge it either way. But what I can tell you is, niggas shouldn't have had a knife on school grounds, G. Let's just, I mean, simple as that, bro. You had a knife on school grounds, man. And then you got people that's out here posting shit like this, man. Don't, man, stop playing with my boy Trayvon Martin like that, man. Come on, man. Let's cut it out. And I'm not even saying that homie might not have a good reason, whatever. Maybe maybe it was some bullying and all that stuff. You think that that's not the same thing, bro. It's not the same thing. Everybody talk about stand your ground. It's stand your ground. You gotta stand your ground, bro. Now, I know people have added that his phone was broken and different stuff like that. Still doesn't count for you stabbing a nigga in the chest, bro. If he pushed or shoved, if he grabbed your book bag, whatever it might be, bro, you stabbed that nigga in the chest, bro. You were better off just punching that nigga, punching down on the nigga, bro. Like, come on, man. People, you gotta be smarter than this, man. He was better off punching down on the nigga, man. Like, why sit there and literally throw your life away, man? Because that's what happened right here, bro. And I know everybody don't like the fact that they were posting the pictures of the guns and stuff, or him with a gun, or whether it was an airsoft gun or not, and him posting pictures, throwing up middle finger and stuff like that. And I know they done went and found pictures of the white boys with guns now, and they army fatigue, whatever, you know what I'm saying, type shit. Hey, at the end of the day, man, I ain't sitting here trying to make this no, because I mean, you know, if it's there, bro, which it might come out that it is, and when if it do, I'm gonna be like, hey, man, my bad, y'all was right, I was wrong, fuck it. I owe y'all an apology out there that was saying that this nigga was, you know what I'm saying, maybe even racially motivated, or he was just a bully ass nigga and just terrorizing them. I didn't, you know what I'm saying, but at the same time, it still don't account for the nigga stabbing him in the chest. He didn't do enough. He didn't do enough, man. The white boy did not do enough to get stabbed in the chest, bro. It's just plain and simple. You know what I'm saying? Even if he beat him up, if they jumped him, I don't think that's enough, bro. Like, come on, bro. At a school event, if somebody jumped on this boy, that shit would have been broke up pretty quickly, man. He ain't have to sit there and stab that boy, man. Like, let's be honest, man. Let's be honest about this shit. Number one, we don't want our kids to sell anything with knives, bro. Kids, shit, the worst thing that should happen is a fight. That's it. No weapons, no sticks, no poles, no none of that, man. Just hands, bro. No knives, no machetes, no none of that shit. Just hands, man. If it's gonna be that, I don't want kids to be fighting. I'm saying it, bro. Just don't get me misconstrued, because motherfuckers like to do that. But if we gonna be fighting, man, shit, take it to them hands, man. Take it to them hands, bro. Get it off, get it over with, move on to some shit, bro. It'll be all right. You could be a little bruised up, be all right. Understand, though, fighting is dangerous, too. And shit can happen in a fight. But at the same time, man, your odds are better fighting as opposed to sitting over here, you know what I'm saying? And be fair. Like, a lot of niggas, got your ass shot up and stabbed because you kept trying to fight little nigga, man. And they do say they was saying, and that little, where is that, man? 200-something pounds, man. 200 and something pounds, man. Right up under here. Or my arrow, if you can see it. I know some people might be on their phone and shit. But look. Right there, man. They were 200 something plus pounds. So that's right. I can't argue with that, man. 200 something pounds. And homie looked like he was like a little $150 or something, man. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't no big fella. You know what I mean? But I still don't make it right, dog. Still don't make it right. And the people trying to make it right, you got me over here like Future right now, man. I'm just like, y'all, come on, man. Chill out. Chill out with this shit, dog. Chill out. Just chill out, man. I know we go through a lot of shit. I know a lot of times, man, shit fucked up. I see how them white folks comment. I had white nigga comment on my shit. 13/60. Okay, buddy. I'm sure that's like violent crimes. They think we commit 70 or 60% of the violent crimes or some shit. You know, or murders. It might be murders, man. Hell, who knows? But you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, man, this is society we live in, man. We don't just get to stab people, man. We be in uproars. It don't matter if the black boy was a bully or not, man. We be in uproars if it was the other way around, bro. I don't want to play games with this shit. For these kids, man, whether they were 17 or not, 18. You know, somebody said they were 18 and shit. They were adults. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I ain't got time for all that, bro. But it's been a hot topic on social media, man. Frisco is one of the places I'm thinking about moving to. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, man. It's Frisco is gonna be some smoke for me and or my son when we get to Frisco, man. I hope not, bro, because I'm gonna teach my son to fight. He gonna put hands on you know what I'm saying? I might want to try to stab my son because he's gonna be beating up on some shit playing with him, man. He's gonna be like his daddy. We ain't playing none of that. We ain't playing all that rah-rah shit, man. You gonna get the bumping your gums on this on social media shit. But in person, nigga, yeah, I'll get on your ass. Real talk. Now, man, before I get back onto to some other shit, man, that's, you know what I'm saying, where I'm gonna end it at, man, where I talk about how I got kicked out of some bullshit ass racist motherfucker platform because he mad like a little bitch. I'm gonna get back on this protesting for a minute, man, because some people are mad that black people didn't show up while others, you know what I'm saying, are thinking that was the best strategy. So we're going to talk a little bit more about the protest that happened today, man. The hands off, man, and all that different shit like that for the protesting against Donald Trump, pretty much. You can just call them a Donald Trump protest, man. Because that's really all it was. But yeah, man, people about feeling a certain type of way, man. They like, you niggas should have, you know what I'm saying, been a part of it. That should have been a part of what they had going on and shit. Man. And they don't like the fact that niggas didn't participate in these protests and shit like that. Some people feel like that was the best move for us, but I'll let y'all decide, man. Listen to a man who is on our ass for not participating. You know what I mean?
Before we get started, please go over to Amazon.com and grab a copy of my book, Education in Justice. If you have an African-American son in public school, you need this book because I teach you the many ways that public schools mistreat African-American boys and what you can do to help
Ain't
your
nothing
son.
new, man.
So go over there and get your copy immediately.
Maybe you got some solutions in the book, man. Yeah. You don't need no book to find that out.
Hello, Amka family. I hope you're doing well on this fine Saturday afternoon. So this video is me reacting to some of the commenters to my very last video where I disagreed with folks advising African-American people to sit out this national march that is occurring as I speak. So a lot of folks made comments, and some of those comments were in disagreement. In fact, most of them were in disagreement. So I'm reacting to those who disagreed with my video. And I have written out a statement, and I'm going to read that statement in the record. I want to be on the record regarding this matter, okay? Now let's go to another screen, and we will get started. So the title of this message is Why Sitting Out is Surrender, a response to the protest boycott logic, Amka movement video. All right, today, masses of people have organized to show solidarity against Trump's anti-Black, anti-America agenda. However, many African Americans decided to sit out this demonstration for various reasons, which is their right. I'll express my personal and professional reaction to this disengagement strategy. So this statement is the unified and official position of the Lazarus Law and Justice Project, LLJP, the Defiant Lawyers Network, and the Amka movement. We reject all calls, whether direct or indirect, to sit out of national protests, public marches, or organized resistance to injustice. Whether rooted in disinformation or framed as strategic disengagement, the outcome is the same: silence, fragmentation, and diminished Black influence. We affirm that peaceful protests, public presence, and national mobilization are not only protected by the First Amendment, but are essential tools in the fight for justice. History proves it. Political silence is not strategy, it's surrender. We urge our people to show up boldly, visibly, and together. We call on leaders to speak with courage, on youth to stand with conviction, and on every Black voter, parent, pastor, and professional to stay in formation. We will not retreat. We will not be ignored. We are not optional. We are African Americans. We are essential. Our voices are needed. Now, let me say, I appreciate everyone who took the time to watch and comment on my last video. In that video, I challenged the idea that African Americans should boycott or sit out of the national hands-off protests. Many of you disagreed. Some said protesting is no longer effective. Others argued it's too risky. And a few suggested that since white and Latino voters helped put Trump back in office, it's their job to protest his agenda, not ours. This video again, is my response, not out of anger or defensiveness, but because I believe clarity in moments like this is critical. With disinformation, fear, and confusion spreading unchallenged, our community loses direction and power. So today, I want to address the logic behind this sit-out strategy and explain why I believe it's deeply flawed and ultimately self-defeating. Let's start here. This isn't just about the hands-off protests. It's about public protests and marching in general. The entire ideal of showing up, being seen, and standing together in public is being questioned by more and more of our people. And that concerns me, because when we give up public protests, we're relinquishing one of the most valuable and powerful weapons our ancestors used to challenge power. We're turning our backs on an indispensable tool that helped desegregate schools, end Jim Crow, secure voting rights, and bring police violence into the national spotlight. Protests have never been the whole strategy, but it's always been a necessary part of it. Now, let me explain why this is personal for me. I spent much of 2024 fighting disinformation aimed specifically at African Americans, particularly around voting, something called Vote the Couch. I pushed back hard on the lies telling us our vote doesn't matter, that both parties are the same, and that sitting out elections is some kind of...
Now, wouldn't necessarily say both voters are the same or both parties are the same. Because there's definitely a significantly worse party than the other. And that's the Republican Party. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Tell me what you want to say. You're lying. You're just liberal. But guess what? It's fucking true, man. It's not, I mean, data, you know what I'm saying? As far as economy-wise, whatever you want to go and name, man, outside of, if you just, you know what I'm saying, really hate, you know what I'm saying, like any type of progressive shit or, you know, any of the LGBTQ shit, which I'm with you on that, man. I don't favor that shit myself, man. No offense to you people, my people out there. I got a niece that's, you know what I'm saying, lesbian, stud to be exact, you know what I'm saying? I got family members that's been gay and shit like that, and I love them to death. But at the same time, man, don't necessarily agree with what all that shit be doing a lot of times, man. All the extra gay shit hadn't been in all the damn shows. I mean, it's a little much, man. I definitely would say that. But at the same time, don't think it's so drastic that, you know what I'm saying, you got to literally, you know what I'm saying, write laws against certain shit, man. And mostly it's been toward the trans people, which I don't know, you know what I'm saying? They say that they taking over everywhere. I don't necessarily see it. I hardly ever seen a trans person, man. I seen one girl that I think she's still definitely a girl, you know what I'm saying? As far as her parts or whatever. I don't know, never explored that shit or asked her about it. But I've definitely heard her say she was trans before. And that was like the first and only person I've ever heard that's ever been trans. You know what I'm saying? At least out here in Texas, which Texas is not very conducive for people like that anyway. So, but it's just, you know what I'm saying, like protesting at this point, man, that shit just, you know what I'm saying, it's getting dead. It's over with, man. I know how we're talking about the whole voting shit, man. But all this shit, man, as far as like engaging with shit that you know has no true benefits for you other than, you know, everybody get to, you know, agree or disagree on some shit every 4 years, every 2 years, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying, depending on whatever elections is going on around you locally or whatever. It's not really, you know what I'm saying, a lot that I can just say that people get from it. You know what I'm saying? It's like we've had the same minimum wage for years. You know, some states have been better, but, you know, they also have cost of living spikes that shit damn near killed all the damn minimum wage gain that they got. So, you know, stuff like that, man. It's like, even when it's the Democrats or the Republicans, they figure out a way to fuck you in the long run. Now, don't get me wrong. Democrats are fixing a lot of the Republicans' fuck-ups. So some of the Democrats fuck ups might be in just how they fix the fuck up or what they think the fix is. But at the same time, man, Democrats do plenty. It's just like, I'm just saying, like, it's just, I'm going to let them finish, man. I'm going to let them finish because I kind of just cut them off and went on a rant there. Yeah, but hey.
Of strategic move. Now we're seeing the same pattern again, but this time it's not just about voting. It's about protesting, marching, organizing publicly. And it's disheartening because it feels like we didn't learn anything the first time around. It feels like we have allowed ourselves to be fooled twice. What's the old saying? If you fool me the first time, it's your fault. If you fool me the second time, it's my fault. And whether we realize it or not, this growing embrace of disengagement makes us look gullible, susceptible, and uninformed. That perception isn't just embarrassing, it's dangerous. It makes us an easy prey for those in power who are watching to see how we respond to Trump and MAGA's agenda. Not everyone who set out of the hands-off protests or who will sit out of future protests were misled by disinformation. Some made a conscious decision to disengage. They saw it as a tactic, a way to send a message. I've heard some say, we showed up in 2024, we voted for Kamala, we did our part. Now it's someone else's turn. That logic doesn't hold up. First, the numbers don't back up that logic. Here's why. The majority of Black Americans, including women, did not vote in 2024. The narrative that we carried the election isn't rooted in fact. You can't strategically withhold your power if you didn't fully use it in the first place. And more Black people didn't vote than Black people who did vote. Second, whether you were deceived or disengaged, the result is the same. We're not in formation. Our absence, no matter the reason, weakens our impact, weakens our voices. A fractured presence in moments of national protests sends Trump and MAGA the message that we're either afraid, indifferent, or complicit with his authoritarian agenda. And make no doubt about it, this is about resisting authoritarianism. Third, the movement moved without us. That should concern every serious organizer. The hands-off protests proved that it could mobilize without significant Black participation. That doesn't reflect our power. Actually, it reflects our marginalization. Disengagement, when it isolates us, is not strategic. Again, it's surrender. It gives away leverage. It lets others decide outcomes while we watch from the sideline. Black power only matters when it shows up early, loud, and united. So here's the truth. We stand to lose the most. We, African Americans. Trump's agenda is anti-Black, and we're not making our voices heard on a national level today. If Trump and the MAGA movement succeed in consolidating power, it won't be white voters who pay the highest price. It'll be Black voters. It won't be the wealthy elites. It will be us, Black families, Black schools, Black workers, Black children. When civil rights rollback come, we're the ones who will feel it first and feel it deepest. When the Supreme Court guts protections, when states ban Black history, when the police are given more power to surveil and detain us, again, it's our community that bear the brunt. Someone once said, when America catches a cold, Black America gets pneumonia. And yet, in the face of that reality, some are arguing that the best response is silence or inaction, sitting out in national protests. let me now respond directly to what I believe are the four main arguments that I have heard. The first argument is that protesting is too dangerous, that Trump might use it as an excuse to declare martial law. Now, that very well could happen. I don't know. I know that the man certainly want to use the Insurrection Act or declare martial law. He talked about it in 2020. So I can't say that that won't happen. But here's what I can say. Peaceful protest is still protected under the Constitution. Also, our ancestors didn't stop protesting. When governors threatened them, when police brutalized them, or when white mobs waited to attack them, they still marched. If we let fear of what might happen dictate our actions, we're handing Trump a victory without him having to lift a finger. Second argument, let whites and Latinos do the protesting. So, that sounds logical until you realize it ignores reality. While it's true that most white voters supported Trump, and many Latinos did as well, again, the truth is that millions of black voters set out the 2024 election. Also, Trump made significant gains among black men voters, especially those under 45. The margin of victory didn't come just from white voters.
Yeah, he's somewhat right, but I mean, like, it wasn't like that big of a shift in black men. We've always somewhat voted, you know what I'm saying, for Democrats at about a 75 to 80%, you know what I'm saying, margin. It's not really like it's ever really changed much there. So I don't know if we just were that significant of a change in the overall scheme of things. I think more if you want to talk about like Hispanic voters, especially Hispanic men, that was a significant shift. Women voters in general, you know what I'm saying, was a very significant shift. You know what I'm saying, even though white women tended to, you know what I'm saying, vote more Republican these last couple elections. But I'm just saying, like, for us to sit here and act like, man, black people are obligated to go do something because shit doesn't happen and this, that, and the third, and we need to be out there because you're always the one that's the most affected. Come on, get out of here. I mean, I think a lot of the thoughts of there being some type of martial law being called, or just the fact that the police probably gonna get more aggressive anyway. Just like, let's be honest, man. They already gonna spin the narrative regardless. If it was enough black people out there, the shit was gonna be riots. Oh, they out there riding and woo. Some people say, hey, if enough black people was out there, they probably would have rioted because we just innately violent and shit like that. So at the end of the day, man, I think even though I get them, you know what I'm saying, it is a constitutionally protected right, and so is boycotting, and so is all other forms of civil disobedience. If you want to go out and block the road, should nobody be dumb enough to go and run you over, babe. Some people out there that will these days, because in their minds, like, what are you protesting for? We're in the greatest country that there ever was, man. And I even say myself, it's the greatest fucked up place you could ever be. But you just gotta be honest, man. Until we willing to, you know what I'm saying, face the fact that we got a real deal live racist problem here in America, that we got a real deal live sexism problem in America, that we got a real deal homophobic problem in America, all that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about the trans situation, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm lacking in that regard, hey, I'll take that. I'll take that. I'm lacking in that regard as far as the understanding or the empathy or whatever. But I'm just saying, I just don't get it. But at the end of the day, as far as those groups being marginalized and even the trans, bro, I can definitely understand that. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of highlighting of shit that don't necessarily equate to reality. Like people saying that black people are literally the downfall of America is a fucking overstatement. It's just what it is. It's an over fucking statement, man. We're detriment to our neighborhoods, maybe. Yeah, I get it. We're a detriment, you know what I'm saying, to one another from time to time. Yeah. Some white people might fall casualty to that shit. I get that. But to sit here and act like we're literally dragging down America, nigga, that's wild. That's wild shit, man. And not the people that's literally making decisions to put the guy that's going to add taxes to all our poor asses. Whether you a poor white man or a poor Mexican man, a poor black man, whatever. Shit, tariffs is not going to help you in any way, shape, or fucking form, bro. How's it going to help you, man? What American business do you think is going to come back because of tariffs? Don't make sense, man. But then we want to sit there and say, like, hey, he going to say, it's because of niggas like me that didn't go vote and blah, blah, blah. Shit, why didn't Kamala inspire enough people to come out and vote? Why she had Cardi B and so many other people out there, shit, as spokespeople for, you know what I'm saying, her campaign and shit. Instead of, I mean, like I said, she did have some other people as well, too. But I'm just saying, like, these are the things that got highlighted. Let's just be honest. We're going to be real about it. We got to be real about it all the way. Shit, her ratings weren't even that high when she bring just Tim Walz on the campaign trail or some other Democratic leader wherever she was going. And why wouldn't she come into places like Texas more often? You know what I'm saying? She came to Houston, what, maybe once? I think she went to Atlanta like twice or 2 or 3 times. Like, you know, campaign for real. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that she didn't campaign. I mean, she did a hell of a campaign for the amount of days she had, but at the same time, like, come on, bro. Come find the black people that you feel like you need to go get, or come find the Mexican people that you feel like you need to go get. Come find the women that you feel like you need to get. Come find the white men that you feel like you need to, you know what I'm saying, convince. Whatever it be. But you got to come with a better strategy and messaging. And honestly, when Kamala started going more pro-immigration, I thought she might have had it, man. Thought she might have had it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Especially when she got to throwing in that price gouging shit with it too, and wanting to do some like setting price rates and shit. Even though I know some people feel like that's gonna hurt the economy, I feel like, hey, when it comes to food, man, that's where we seeing some of the biggest inflation at, man. We need to do something about that shit, or it's gonna be hard for motherfuckers to eat soon. Let's be real.
Or just from Latino voters. It came from our own disengagement, which is what we are contemplating now, many of you. We helped create this moment, whether we want to admit it or not. And if we sit out now, we're not punishing anyone but ourselves. The third argument says we should focus on using our dollars instead of protesting. I'm all for economic pressure, but let's be real. Economic pressure without visibility rarely works. The Montgomery bus boycott succeeded not just because people stopped riding buses, but because they walked miles together, they protested, they marched, they organized carpools, they endured arrest, and kept the issue in the public eye. Economic boycotts only work when they're backed by public disruption and clear demands. I recommend that you read Dr. King's letter from a Birmingham jail. The fourth argument I've heard is that protests don't work because we've protested for years and nothing has changed. That's simply false. The 2020 protests led to policy reforms in cities across the country. Protests that were led by BLM, Black Lives Matter. Police departments were restructured. Budgets were reallocated. George Floyd's killers were arrested, prosecuted, and convicted because of public pressure, because of marching and protesting. No protest guarantees change, but the absence of protest guarantees that nothing changes. You see, we as African Americans, we must protest. We must march. We must vote. We must organize. We must apply economic pressure. We must build local power. We must litigate in court. We must utilize all the tools in our tool belt. You don't choose one and discard the others. You use them all in coordination, like every successful movement has before us. So let me close with this final word. People, we don't win if we sit down. We don't win if we fail to show up. We don't win if we're not in formation. And we don't win if we're in fear. And here's why. The people attacking our rights are well organized. They're well funded. They have courts and legislatures on their side. If our response is silence, what do you think will happen next? They will continue to take precious rights from us. And when we don't show up, we are essentially saying to them, as I said earlier, that we're either afraid, indifferent, or complicit to their agenda.
Nicely spoken, man. Yeah, well said and all that, man. And hey, I'm not knocking him, man. I'm really not knocking him. Because, I mean, he makes a lot of great points, man. Like, he makes a lot of great points, man. You know, when they did the boycotts in the 60s and the 50s, yeah, they had a whole plan. They had a whole structure. Well, what's the plan and structure in this right now? What is the plan? What are we technically going for? What are we fighting for? Because there's so much to fight for right now. I don't know if everybody that's protesting is out there for the same thing. And even if they were out there for the same thing, do they have a plan in mind of what they're going to do with this protest? Is bringing awareness to their action? Like, what action do they want us to take? If it was just to say, all right, let's go along with the protest. What do they want us to do? Sound like they just wanted us all to come out and protest. Cool. But at the same time, we know how these people get when it's the black protest versus the other, you know what I'm saying, people out there protesting, man. We ain't seen not one person talking about a riot. We ain't seen no tear gas. We ain't seen no riot gear. And I think that's for a fucking reason, man. And some people, I think, no matter if you're a racist or not an anti-racist, I think you should pretty much have come to the same answer. It's because the black people wasn't out there. You know what I'm saying? But you think it's because we were gonna go out there and tear up shit, or because you thought that the police were gonna get more aggressive because that we out there? Either way, we know when we put the black people in the mix, man. Hey, it seems like it's gonna go all the shit, man. And you can say that's our fault or not, man. But it's definitely a thing. So if that's the case, I think we did everybody a favor by not coming out, right? Did everybody a fucking favor, man. So shit, leave black folks alone, man. They feel like they don't want to come out, and you know what I'm saying? Add to whatever could have been the chaos or non-chaos. Yeah, but we're gonna talk about it, man, because a lot of black people had a lot to say about it, and I don't feel like they're wrong, man. I don't feel like they're wrong at all, man. But you know what I'm saying? We're gonna tap in with my OG, man. I don't say my OG, but nigga that I be definitely watching and respecting the political sphere of things, man. Yeah, most definitely, man. Nigga he do some good work, man. If y'all not already watching or subscribe to Reese Waters, man, go do that, man, because content be on point, man, as far as the political escape of things, and he breaks down damn near every event off the rip, man. No problem whatsoever. It gets to the point, man. I think that's what we all need, man. Somebody that gets to the point, man. Ain't gonna sit around. Give me a second. Give me a second, man. We're finna get this started. Appreciate y'all patience, man. Finna get ready to probably end this in a little bit, man.
Everybody has been begging Black people to support the march on April 5th. In the spirit of Chuck Schumer, we will pen a strongly worded email. Hey, shout out to all the subscribers and members here on the channel. I am Reese Waters, and this is Street Politics.
In the United States on April 5th. 1 million people.
Sit your black ass down. Sit your black ass down. Sit your black ass down.
You are the people. Enjoy.
April 5th is coming. And before anybody starts romanticizing protest, let me just say it plain as day. No confusion. We are not going out there. Not this time. We are not going out there. A whole lot of people are planning to hit the streets, right? I know y'all have heard the buzz. Chants, signs, cameras, emotions are going to be high. I get it. Hell, I've been out there before. But the last time we marched, what happened? They tear gassed us, shoved elders to the ground, committed vandalism, and then blamed us. They shot rubber bullets at kids, and then had the nerve to call us violent. We showed up with our voices. They showed up with riot gear. We screamed, "Don't shoot," and they loaded that clip anyway. And let's be clear, this administration, they've let us know in no uncertain terms, Black people in the street equals threat. They're looking for a reason to vilify us. They're waiting for a headline to twist. They're hoping for a camera angle that's going to justify their brutality. And what do we get in return? A quote tweet, a statement, maybe a mural, but no safety, no justice, no peace. So no, we're not marching this time. We're not going to give them the photo op that they so desperately want. We're not playing into that cycle. We're not going to give them the excuse that they're so desperate for.
Yeah, I mean, somewhat I agree with what she's saying, but at the same time, man, I don't know. It's something about the way the way people on TikTok talk in general kind of annoys me a lot. Shit, it's like they always trying to give this damn emotion. I don't know. They're trying to pull at your emotions with the way they speak and shit, man. They teach you how to do it in a lot of the actings and different shit, like with a certain tone and I don't know, shit like that, man. I don't necessarily I get what she's saying, and I definitely agree with it. You know what I'm saying? As far as Black people get out there, the police will get a lot more prepared, feeling like, oh, I guess it's just a threat or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's justifiable or not, it's definitely gonna happen. It always does. Always will. Anytime I'm telling you, like, it could be 6 niggas on the corner just chilling, and literally the police will pull up 4, 5 cars deep. Just, you know what I'm saying, out here in Mount Pleasant, man, like where I'm at. That shit that I've seen growing up, man. Anytime, and it could literally be nothing going on, but people having a good time, man. Not even a whole bunch of drinking or smoking or none of that. Just people out there maybe barbecuing and chilling. Stuff like that. A couple of old schools, and then they kids out there, they get to playing and stuff and whatever. Get a little pickup basketball game going at the park nearby or whatever. Or if the block got a goal on it at the end. You know what I'm saying? But no, it's like when you see niggas getting together, man, it's like, hold on, what they got going, what could they be conspiring to and shit like that. I ain't saying that happens all the time. I'm just saying it definitely has happened in my lifetime with shit I've seen. So I can see why people want to sit out on this protest. But like homie said, man, we do have a constitutional right to go out there and protest, and different programs, actions of the past have definitely needed the participation of us getting that done, man. I don't know if this Trump situation is our fight to fight, but hey, some people are there. It was definitely black people out there protesting. So it's not like wasn't no black people out there at all. So
We're protecting our people. We're staying home. We're building offline. We're organizing smarter because we don't need to be in the streets to prove that our rage is real. So let them march, let them bait, let them spin the same
and I
tired
definitely agree with
narratives.
that. You don't have to be protesting or voting or any of that shit. You don't have to be engaged at all to show that, you know what I'm saying, your voice matters and or your action, whatever action that you are doing can matter. That you are pissed off of what's going on or you happy about what's going on. You don't have to be, you know what I'm saying, an active participant in any of this shit and still have that opinion. I feel like we all have the right for that. So at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, everybody's action is different. Some people going to protest. Some people going to be the boycotters. Some people going to be the organizers. You know what I'm saying? Some people going to create, you know what I'm saying, for the rest. You know what I'm saying? They might create the job. They might create a situation. Whatever it might be. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody be great and not hold everybody to a one or two standards that they need to go by. I think that's great. It's better for us, man, for sure.
But don't let them turn your blackness into a threat on live TV. April 5th, we sit back, we step back, we stay safe because survival is resistance too.
So wait, I'm just supposed to sit out the game like Scottie Pippen?
It's hands off for us. That cape you wearing turned into a blanket. We playing spades, we watching TV, we having a cookout, we binge watching old Martin episodes, we doing everything but going to this damn march. Where them fans at? Find them fans April 5th. This ain't got nothing to do with us. We did not put that man in office, so this is their fight. Y'all remember when you was younger and your bike got stolen and your mother told you don't come in this house till you go get your bike back? It's their turn to go get the bike back. You can even look at the flyer and tell this ain't got nothing to do with us. Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, public lands, fair elections, NATO, veteran affairs, cancer research, schools, libraries, free speech, LGBTQ, immigrants, judges, clean energy, our bodies, our jobs, personal data, everything but black rights, everything but discrimination, everything but redlining. You sit your ass down. Do not go out there and let them pepper spray you and beat you down and pour them tanks out and gas spray you. Because when black people mobilize, you a threat. When white people mobilize, it's a march. Sit your ass in the house. I don't know what is streaming on April 5th, but we need to look that up because Dope Thief is good. The Pit is good. I know Tyler Perry got a movie every week that's probably good. It's watchable. I'm telling you right now, find something to do on April 5th. They saying TikTok going to shut down, and that's just scary because the TikTok go dark, and it's going dark the same day this march is going down. That means they might know something we don't, and they might be ready to get lit. I'm just saying.
Black folks on social media are warning Black Americans not to participate in an upcoming global protest against the Trump administration and Elon Musk. On Saturday, April 5th, thousands of people in the U.S. and around the world are preparing to protest Trump in what they're calling hands-off National Day of Action. According to Third Act, one of the organizations that helped put together this massive protest, said the event is meant to stand up against those who believe they can take whatever they want, our democracy, our future, our rights. So far, more than 600 events have been planned across all 50 states. Events have also been planned in Europe and Canada. Indivisible, another organization helping to mobilize, prompted the protests on Blue Sky, writing, Donald Trump and Elon Musk think this country belongs to them. They're taking everything they can get their hands on and daring the world to stop them. On April 5th, we're taking to the streets nationwide to fight back with a clear message, hands off. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt pushed back against the protests, saying they will never work to deter the president from further pushing his agenda. Anyone who thinks protests, lawsuits, and lawfare will deter President Trump must have been sleeping under a rock for the past several years. And on that account, let me make this the first time, I believe, that I've ever agreed with Caroline Leavitt. I don't see any way that pushback is going to deter him from doing what he feels like is in his best interest, unless that pushback reaches a critical mass and it is no longer politically expedient. But what I would like for you to take from that is what she is openly admitting is they do not care about what the people think. So the people are saying you feel like this country belongs to you and you can do whatever you want, but you need to be beholden to the people. And he is literally confirming that by virtue of Caroline Leavitt. Like she really never opens her mouth without it being a massive constitutional problem. How about this one?
So are you saying that it is okay to ignore a judge's ruling if you don't like it?
Who does that judge work for?
That's another one of my favorites, but I'm not here to talk about that. As far as the why people decided they wanted to sit out. A major driver behind the stay home movement was genuine concern for safety. Many pointed out the potential for things to escalate, possibly leading to situations involving martial law. This fear wasn't unfounded, especially considering past political rhetoric. Concerns were amplified by memories of Trump's previous comments regarding the use of military force against protesters described in certain terms. Furthermore, there was a pervasive worry that the Black participants could be disproportionately targeted by law enforcement or counter-protesters, a recurring pattern in American history.
Yo, what's up, y'all? So check it out. We are not protesting April 5th. Every Black person, keep your behind at home. They're trying to do a mass protest, and I'm not the only one that's feeling like that this is a setup and this could lead to martial law that they're trying to basically make happen. It's a setup, y'all. Listen, let these white people and let these MAGA people fight themselves. All right? We ain't helping nobody out. Y'all ended up voting for this fool. And guess what? Now we're in this predicament, but they're trying to do a 2 million plus man protest march on April 5th. Nope, we ain't doing it. We're not doing it. So share this with everybody and let them know to stay at home April 5th. All right? Eat you some popcorn, watch a movie, go and hang out with your friends or whatever, but we ain't protesting. We ain't doing it. Nope, this is not our fight. And guess what? They should have listened, but they didn't. So now they're going to have to suffer. Stay at home.
And then there's this. Let's not give them what they want on April 5th. Black people do not march, stay home. They are looking for a reason to once again vilify Black people, to be violent against us and invoke martial law. Stand in solidarity with those who march peacefully, denounce violence, and focus on other ways to circumvent what is going on by using the law and other protest means. Focus on bettering Black communities. Most of all, pray and meditate that day. Give it to God and let God, who's above all, handle it. Peace. They do love to vilify a march when it involves Black people. You know, actually, your march should actually go down a lot better without Black people. Now that they mention it.
What's good, y'all? So I want to address something really quickly because one, this is very important, and two, I'm starting to see my people get a little shaky. And I think that what's going on in the world is currently testing everyone's resolve because we're not used to sitting back, but pay attention to this. So over the past few days, I've been seeing a lot of us asking each other, like, are we really going to sit this out? Are we really not going to protest? We're not going to help? You have to answer that question for yourself, but I do want to make you mindful of something. So this is the first time in recent history that Black people as a collective have decided to sit out the fight. This is the first time that we've said we weren't going to protest, we weren't going to join in. And there's still protests taking part all over the country. Have you guys noticed that there's a very big difference in the way these protests are being conducted? I haven't seen anybody laying out bricks or tools that could be used to deface or destruct property. I haven't seen police gas bombing anybody. I haven't seen anybody being put into vans and disappeared and getting arrested for no reason. None of that has been taking place. And it's funny that this isn't taking place because this is the first time that we haven't been out there. So you need to think about that. These other communities that are trying to gaslight you into helping and trying to make it seem as if it's all going to be us, we already know that. It's always been us. It's always been that way. But they're doing that because they are afraid to throw the first stone, which a few people have said, but they want us to do it. And they want us to do it knowing what our fate will be if we do. And that's the part I want to focus in on. Everybody understands that when we're on the front lines, that's when violence ensues. We have the right to protest just like anybody else. We have the right to peacefully protest, which is what we do. But do you see the stigma that was attached to the Black Lives Matters protest? People were saying that they were violent and people were attacking cops and defacing property. We weren't doing that. They were doing that. All of that was a setup. So now they're sitting around waiting for us to kickstart this thing so that they can start doing the same things to us again, even though they know that we said we weren't putting ourselves on the front lines like that. They still want you to. Now, if you feel like you need to go out there, you feel led to do that, that's on you. I can't tell you what to do or what not to do. I can only speak for myself. I can always speak and advocate from my phone. But like I said, my attention is going toward my people, it's going toward myself, my personal life, and fixing what I can fix and controlling what I can control. But I'm not willing to be so self-sacrificing that I put myself out there when the contrast is so stark. I can see exactly what the differences are between what's taking place now and what's taking place in the past. And I'm not going to be put out there. I'm just not going to do it. Guys, really pay attention to that. These protests are so different. These are the most peaceful protests that I've seen as far as the way that the police and everybody else interacts. Like, we've always been peaceful in our protests, but the way that they're handling these people, nobody's getting treated the way that we normally get treated. But what do you think is going to happen if we put ourselves out there? Pay attention to that, because people are trying to make it seem like it's all about the Latino people getting deported and all that stuff. No, first off, more than just their community is going to be deported. They aren't the only immigrants in the country, but also they already know what happens when Black people are on the front lines, and they really don't care about asking you to do that. Everybody's asking you to sacrifice yourself for them when they wouldn't do the same for you, and they showed us that over and over again.
I will also say that these protests, not protests, but as far as she was saying, as far as other immigrants, it seems to have only affected Latin American countries. So they're not deporting illegal European immigrants or any of that shit like that. I'm just saying, let's be real, man. This is targeted especially toward Hispanic countries. But I digress. Just wanted to say that because, with a lot being said, let's be real.
Over again. Now, I'm not trying to make us, see people as less than human or tell us that we shouldn't care, shouldn't have empathy. We should. But y'all, we cannot keep interrupting people's lessons, okay? Our lesson is to learn to take care of ourselves. We've never done that. Their lesson is to learn how to do the same and how to stand up for humanity as a whole. You can't sit around talking about being human and united and solidarity if you don't exercise that every single day of your life. This is your time to shine. This is your time to get out there on the front lines. And while you're making demands of Black people, make demands of everybody else. We're the only community being punched down on for not wanting to participate when other communities don't participate at all and don't even talk about the stuff. Why do we always get the backlash? Think about that, y'all. They want us to sacrifice ourselves, and I personally am not going to do it. Like, I understand that it's hard for a lot of us because we have so much empathy, but y'all, please have that empathy toward us. Put us first this time, please.
And that was one of the other consistent messages that I've heard is the utilization of our own empathy, the utilization of our own strength against us, and how time and time again that has not benefited us specifically.
This message is for Black people and Black people only. We are in a time right now where a lot of people want to take advantage of our emotional and resilience capital that has been built up on the backs of us over the hundreds of years that we have been in this country, because they are in a position where they are finding out that the choices that they made, while informed, were poor choices. And I want to stress with us how important it is for us to practice self-care. And one of the tenets with self-care is prioritizing yourself. We are compassionate as a people by nature. We want everyone to be okay by nature. But unfortunately, we're in a season where we don't have the luxury of worrying about others because of what is on ground for us. And so I would encourage us to be really careful of falling into the trap that is happening right now, where we're being gaslit to believe that we have not supported other communities and we have not been there for other communities, and they have been there for us. And I don't want to go down the laundry list of opportunities that they could have been there to stand with us and to fight with us when it was our community that was under attack, which is consistently the theme in this country. But what they're not going to do now is come in because they are suffering and don't know how to handle this the way we do. Because again, we've been here before. We know how this is. This isn't new to us. We just continue to grow and to thrive in spite of what they throw our way. We're not responsible. And so this is the time for us to have self-reflection. This is a time for us to band together to build something infrastructurally that will last beyond this point so that we no longer have to be dependent on others for our communal well-being. So I just want to stress that to you all. It's going to probably get worse before it gets better. But for us to survive this next 4 years, and I roll my eyes at that because it's just hard to believe that it hasn't even been 2 months yet. But to survive this next 4 years, we are going to have to prioritize ourselves as a community and make sure that we take care of ourselves. That's all I got.
And while we're on the topic of taking care of ourselves, there's this little fact that was pointed out. April 5th, Million Man March and protest. Dear Black people, stay your Black ass home. They've been doing the most to get Black people mad and come out. Some are just looking for a reason to come after us. We're not going to play their game. We're minding our own. Stay home. So if you wanted to make the case that it was somehow a setup for Black people, you would have to point to a litany of things that they have done specifically to inflame the Black community, you know, like the DEI purges, or how about floating out a pardon for Chauvin in the George Floyd case, or how about trying to cancel Black History Month and then begrudgingly letting it go forward? How about freezing the civil rights cases, the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice? How about coming after the Blacksonian? Or how about coming after Jackie Robinson? How about that? You would have to look at the litany of things that they have done specifically to inflame Black people. And that's just on a national scale. That's beside all of the local stuff, you know, like the Yahtzees on the bridge in a Black community in Lincoln Heights, Ohio. You know, stuff like that's happening locally. But we're talking about like the national stuff right there. So the idea that they wouldn't be specifically targeting us becomes much more difficult to make. And once we're past that, you tell me how exactly they are prepared to receive you should you hit the streets, because I kind of have had this conversation before about how they're willing to react had we hit the streets earlier. Anybody got any other ideas? And just to add a little cherry on top for the inflaming of Black people, why is White Lives Matter trending right now? Just out of nowhere. Just literally while I'm recording this, I see that White Lives Matter is trending. Yeah. Anybody got any other ideas? Okay, fine. Everybody has been begging Black people to support the march on April 5th. In the spirit of Chuck Schumer, we will pen a strongly worded email. I don't know exactly what my favorite part. No, it's in the spirit of Chuck Schumer. And in the spirit of Chuck Schumer is exactly right. I can work on a draft. Be sure to mention your disappointment and grave concern. I'll be honest, I'm kind of surprised nobody mentioned thoughts and prayers, but naturally.
And then the Black people do the sit out one. This is what it is. We can say be mad at niggas all you want to. All the groups that feel like, hey man, why are the Black people sitting out? Man, y'all know why. I know exactly what's going on, man. Shit ain't no fucking joke out here, bro. Shit, we got enough going on as it is, man. But I was gonna get into some other shit, man. I'm gonna leave that little bullshit alone, man. Cause fuck motherfuckers who don't like me, don't want to fuck with me. I ain't gotta sit here and make myself, you know what I'm saying, be liked by racist bitch ass people, hating ass niggas, or any of that shit, man. I'm just gonna keep doing me, man. Slow and steady, but we gonna get there. We gonna get there. But man, y'all be blessed, man. Y'all have a good one out there, man.